Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GA with me, Seamus Brady, your host, and for this one I'm going to run through all of the action which happened in a crazy last round of action from the Gaelic Football group stages of 2023. So, the first thing that we have to talk about is this weekend was a victory for the GAA Championship structure of 2023. There was just so much drama, so much action, so much potential results, and at various stages, teams were in and out. We didn't know who was going to top the group. We didn't know who was going to finish third. We didn't know who was going to finish fourth. And yeah, now as I talk to you, the quarterfinal draws have been made. So absolutely fascinated to see how those ones go as well. So let's get into the full recap, guys. Before we do, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. But yeah, let's get into the full recap. So we're going group by group, starting with Group A. And obviously, the result we have to look at here is Cork 114, Mayo 111 from the Gaelic grounds. And just, yeah, Mayo. Like, what? How did this happen? How did they go from beating Kerry away from home to losing to Cork? Now, I know that Cork have, been really good. But the point that I'm making is we've seen Mayo's ceiling. We've seen that Mayo's ceiling is higher, in my opinion, this season than Cork's ceiling. I don't think Cork could have beaten Kerry the way that Mayo did. I know Cork put it right up to Kerry, and Cork have been made huge strides this year. They absolutely have. There's no doubt about that. But Mayo, this result will really rock them. If they were feeling confident about winning in All Ireland, this result will really rock them, especially when you look at what Kerry did over in the other game against Louth, a team that nearly beat Mayo in McHale Park, by the way. So they won't be too proud of themselves this weekend. But as McStay said, they're still in the All Ireland and they've got a kick now. They've got the reminder that, look, you need to keep your level at the level that it was against Kerry down in Tralee. So what a victory for Cork. Absolutely fantastic performance. They set up the way that they are now under John Cleary. Brilliant defensive structure. Hit on the counter attack. Fantastic movements. They got off to a great start. Owen McSweeney hits their third point in a row to make it 3-1. A crucial save then happened. Micheál Martin denying Aidan O'Shea, who had actually done a brilliant dummy to set up the goal chance. And I think that was actually really important that he made that save, because if Mayo got a goal at that stage, they are sometimes a momentum team and they really could have run away with it then. Colin Reeve slotted over the 45 to make it 3-2. Then Colin O'Callaghan got a lovely point to make it 4-3. Jordan Flynn equalised. Rory Maguire got his second point to put Cork back in front 5-4. Ryan O'Donoghue equalised. So you're getting the pattern here. It was tit for tat, very even in the first half. Early in the second half, Jordan Flynn hits his third to put Mayo 8-7 ahead. Tommy Conroy off the bench adds another to make it 9-7. Mayo added another to make it 10-7. So watching this, I thought, this is where Mayo start to pull away, keeping in touch with the results and everything. This is where Mayo pull away. But Stephen Sherlock then sprung off the bench, and what an impact he ended up making. He ended up with 1-5 off the bench. He hit a needed point to make it 10-8, and then Mayo looked like they really should have had the game wrapped up as Tommy Conroy hit the back of the net. But remarkably, Mayo did not score for the rest of the game from here. Cork took over. They got a penalty in immediate next play, a foul on Colin O'Callaghan. Stephen Sherlock steps up and scores. Then Sherlock hits another 4 points as Cork reel Mayo back in. Mayo messed up on the kick out straight to Stephen Sherlock. He nailed it, and it was 111-111. Then Cork hit the front straight after. John O'Rourke put them 2 points ahead then, 113-111. And then Chris Oak-Jones fisted over the insurance point for the Rebels, 114-111. Mayo had a late free to try and snatch a draw. And who are you thinking now? This is the other thing that I noticed. Mayo have a late free where they're obviously going to float the ball into the box and just try punch the ball into the net. And who do they put on the free? Aidan O'Shea. Literally the first guy you would want in the penalty box standing there. That's why they play him at full forward. And you're telling me that they're going to float a ball into the box and not put Aidan O'Shea in there. I thought that was ridiculous when I was watching it. Now, here's the controversy. Rory Maguire, in my opinion, avoided a stonewall red card. He's literally just punched Jack Carney in the back of the head. Like, he's literally put the fist up like this and hit Jack Carney in the back of the head. If that's not a red card, what is? What is? And the other thing is that consistency. Over the weekend, again, no consistency with some key decisions, and we'll get on to those in the later games, particularly the Tyrone Westmeath game. If you know, you know. I mean, that challenge from Kevin Maguire, we're going to get on to it later on. But yeah, like, absolutely a red card for me, and that could have changed the game. There's no doubt about it. That could have changed the game. But I have to give huge congratulations to Cork, because they put in a stellar performance, beating an awesome Mayo team. And yeah, Cork really have made huge progress this year, and I can't wait to see what else they do under John Cleary. Now, one game that was not actually pleasant to watch, it actually got tough to watch, was Kerry's annihilation of Louth in the other game of Group A. They won 5-24 to 11 points at O'Moore Park. And at one stage, like, the scoreline was just ugly. I think, like, we'll get into it, but it was the first meeting in the championship between the two teams since 1953. And for Louth, it's a sad end to what has been an unbelievable year. Like, they have been a credit to their counties. Their big performances were unbelievable. Getting to the Leinster final, you know, the way that they put it up to Mayo, like, they have had some amazing moments this season. But yeah, this was not one of them. Sean O'Shea opened the scoring for the Kingdom, and then Conor Grimes equalised when he should have hit the back of the net. He blasted it over the bar. Paddy Clifford nailed the score to make it 3-1. Sean O'Shea's beauty made it 4-1. David Clifford got 2 beautiful points to make it 9-2. Diarmuid O'Connor with an easy point, 10-2. Starting to get ugly at this point. And then it really kicked up. David Clifford with a goal in the 23rd minute. He absolutely powered through the Louth defence. Brilliant running. And then the coolness of the finish, just to slot it into the back of the net past James Cliff. Mike Breen got a scrappy second goal in the 28th minute. It bounced around. Louth couldn't deal with it. And now it was 2-15 to 3 points at halftime. And yeah, you just knew it was only going to get worse in the second half. Kerry hit the first 3 points of the second half. Then Paddy Clifford palmed to the back of the net in the 48th minute. Then Kerry got a penalty, a foul on Sean O'Shea, tucked away by David Clifford. Now it was 4 goals and 20 points to 4 points. Just unbelievably one-sided at this stage. Then Kerry got their 5th goal. Sean O'Shea punishes James Cliff, who was caught way off his line. Kerry 5-24. Louth 11 points. A complete mismatch. But for Kerry, they'll be delighted with that. They've absolutely annihilated a team that gave Mayo trouble. So they have, you know, put out a statement there to the rest of the country that they are not going anywhere and they are going to fight to hang on to their All-Ireland title. David Clifford now has hit 525 in 5 games. Sean O'Shea hit 1-8 in that game as well. So great news for Kerry if he is back on form, and terrible news for the rest of the country. But yeah, that is Group A done. And those results mean now that Kerry top the group, Cork are second in the group, Mayo are third, and Louth are out. And obviously, we're going to talk about what the quarterfinals are, the preliminary quarterfinals. Cork, as of that, now go away to face Ross. No, so Cork, they play against Roscommon, who obviously finished third in their group. And as for Mayo, they got Galway. So this is what I'm talking about. Mayo losing to Cork was not only a big mistake, but it is a huge mistake, because now they have Galway away from home in their next game. And it would be so typical if Mayo just went and won that game, wouldn't it? Like, when all the odds are against them, then they turn up. So I think that is the type of thing that you never know with this Mayo team. And for Cork, they took them when they had the chance. So absolute credit to Cork, absolute credit to Kerry. Great wins for both of those counties on the weekend. Moving on then to Group B. Galway and their 100% record in the championship is over now. Armagh have beaten them by 16 points to 112 in Pork, Sean McDermott and Carrick and Shannon. And yeah, revenge for Armagh for last year's epic All-Ireland quarter-final, obviously. So, very even in the first 18 minutes of this game. It was back and forth, 3 points each, all from play after 18 minutes. Then Aidan Forker put Armagh ahead 4-3. Then in the 23rd minute, Galway were awarded a penalty. Potential turning point. Shane Walsh steps up, saved by Ethan Rafferty. Then in the 27th minute, Sean Kelly hits an unbelievable goal. He spots the gap. He just spots there's a gap here. I'm going straight through it. and he slots it home past Rafferty. What a finish. 1-4 to 5 points for Galway. In the 51st minute, Peter Cook hits a beauty to make it 12 points to 1-9, levels up the score again. In the 61st minute, Armagh got a point, but again, the only thing that is crucial about this point was Rory Grugan floated the ball in, and again, Galway struggled with a high ball. Now, then, it was neck and neck right up until the end. Score for score. They were equal the whole game pretty much. And then in the 72nd minute, a backwards pass from Galway bounced and Armagh turned it over. Andrew Murnan ran pretty much the length of the pitch, fouled by Galway. Pretty harsh free, I can't lie, pretty soft free. But up steps Rory Grugan. He slots over the free to give Armagh their first ever championship victory over Galway. Now, Galway had an opportunity to equalise. Cian Hernan was fouled by Aaron McKay. In my opinion, a stupid foul. Like, he should have just stood him up. Don't dive in. He absolutely dived in. He went in with a hard shoulder, fouls Cian Hernan. Up steps Shane Walsh, but he balloons the free up, and Armagh get their first ever championship victory over Galway. And now, because of that, they top the group. Of course, they top the group. They managed to top it. Galway now have to face Mayo. And it's crazy that one of the All-Ireland contenders, in my opinion, in Galway and Mayo, will not make the All-Ireland quarterfinals. And another scare that happened over in the other game in Group B, of course, was the 2021 All-Ireland champions Tyrone, pushed all the way by the Tolchin Cup champions Westmeath, and they eventually shared the spoils in Breffni Park, 18 points apiece. What a game this was between the two teams. Sam McCartan opened up the scoring for Westmeath. Dara Canavan hits Tyrone's first 3 points, with the last one coming from play to make it 3-2. It was a very, very even first half. Sam McCartan, in the 37th minute, landed the last score of the half to leave Westmeath ahead 8-7 at half-time. Then, in the second half, Rory Canavan levelled immediately. Dara Canavan hit a brilliant score to make it 11-9. Luke Loughlin got a great one to make it 11-10. Dara put it back out to 12-10. Then, here is where my issue is with the consistency of the referee in this weekend. Con Kilpatrick gets pretty much straight through on goal. All the other ones where you could argue, was he straight through on goal? Particularly the Paul Caney one. No, this one, he was straight through on goal. He was straight through, one-on-one. And Kevin Maguire, a very, very wise, very clever defender, knows he has to take him out. He can't let him score a goal. He completely takes him out. Watch the replay if you haven't seen. He completely takes him out. And a yellow card. Like, what's the point of that rule if you're not going to give it for that? That is literally the definition of what the rule was brought in for. Kevin Maguire gets a yellow card. Tyrone slot over the free to move 4 points clear, 16 points to 12. Then Westmeath were still in the game. Kieran Martin hit an absolute boomer to make it 18 points to 16, an inspirational score. Westmeath pulled one closer again, and then Ray Kennellan boomed over the equaliser to make it 18 points each. They were looking for the winner, but unfortunately, they could not find it. Look, Westmeath have done nothing but make themselves proud in this championship. I honestly thought that there was going to be a rough ride for them when they saw the group of Tyrone, Armagh, and Galway. But not only should they have beaten, potentially could have beaten both Tyrone and Armagh, but they also put it up to Galway as well. So they've absolutely been a credit to their county, and they can hold their heads high. And there's some serious progress been made there in Westmeath football. And now, look, this next season, just the main target should be getting promoted from Division 3. That should be the main target. If you want to play in the All-Ireland Championship again, get promoted from Division 3. And I think Desi Dogan could do a lot worse than to put all of his attention on the Allianz League next season. Now, moving on from Group B to Group C. First game here, Kildare 116, Roscommon 115 in O'Connor Park in Group C. I have to say, I didn't see this one coming. I honestly thought that Roscommon were going to win, just they have been in better form. Kildare are, so inconsistent, but this time they came correct. What a performance from the likes of Ben McCormick. They just absolutely came hungry. They got 5 points from marks in this game. Now, Davy Burke was criticising the rule and how it's a joke. And of course, Kildare go on to get 5 points from marks in this game. But we have to talk about the other key moments of the game. In the 12th minute, a goal for Kildare. What a volley by Alex Byrne, straight into the back of the Roscommon net. he took it first time. In the 28th minute, Roscommon got their goal. Enda Smith punished an uncharacteristic error from Owen Doyle. Keane McKeown hit the last point of the half to leave Roscommon ahead at halftime, 1-6 to 1-4. Kildare fought back though, and in the 51st minute, the teams were deadlocked at 1-10 each until Ben McCormack powered on to put them ahead, 1-11 to 1-10. Roscommon fought back, and in the 60th minute, Ben O'Carroll put them back in front, 1-13 to 1-12. In the 62nd minute, Kevin O'Callaghan equalised at 1-13 each. And then in the 69th minute, what a score by Ben McCormack to put Kildare ahead, 1-15 to 1-14. And Ben McCormack showed how to score. And Smith decided, you know what, I'm going to do you one better. And did an absolutely amazing score to level it up at 1-15 apiece. But then, with Kildare slipping out of the championship potentially, when the moment was there, Kevin Feely stepped up with an amazing catch and mark and slotted over the resulting shot at the posts with his left boot to save Kildare. 1-16 to 1-15 they win. And for God's sake, start Kevin Feely. He is an outstanding Gaelic footballer. Start him in the future. Please, Glenn Ryan. He is one of the best footballers in the country. And that result now remarkably put Kildare up to second place. Roscommon in third place. Kildare will go and now are facing Monaghan, which is a game that they will fancy themselves potentially to get a victory in, whereas Roscommon face Cork, a Cork side that obviously just beat Mayo. So that game will also be a very, very interesting watch. The other game that was in Group C was not a very interesting watch. It was an absolute massacre. Dublin 3-23, Offaly 8 points at Breffni Park in Cavan. Now, this game was one of the tough games of the weekend, along with the Kerry versus Louth. It was just not competitive. Look, in the first 15 minutes, Sligo were right there. Sean Carabine actually put them ahead after about 15 minutes. But then Paul McNamara had a chance to make it 4 points to 2, and then he hit the post. Dublin got the ball, went straight down the other end, and Paddy Small set up Conor O'Callaghan for a 19th minute goal. And that was really, okay, turning point now. It was a huge goal chance straight after for Sligo for Pat Spillane, but he fired wide. Big mistake, because Dublin burned ahead from that point on. Conor O'Callaghan's point made it 110 to 4 points. Basquel's point made it 112 to 4 points. And then Colin Basquel hit a brilliant goal for Dublin. A brilliant incisive run and a left-footed finish to make it 214 to 4 points. Then Dublin got another goal. Owen Merchant this time. A brilliant run by Basquel. This time he turned from finisher to provider. Hand passed it over to Merchant, and he palmed it into the back of the net. Paddy Small hit a beauty. Paul Mannion hit a beauty. Dublin do look like they have a wealth of forward options. Niall Murphy fired over the last score of the game and the last score of Sligo's championship season for 2023. Look, they have had a great year of progress. And when you look at the under-20 success, there is big things coming for Sligo. But in this game, they were simply just lambs to the slaughter, if you like. It was obvious that Dublin needed to win this game by a lot, and they did. Dublin topped the group. Kildare are second, Roscommon are third. That's the end of Group C. Now moving to the final group, Group D. First game here proves that Donegal really have turned a corner. Donegal 19 points, Monaghan 17 points in Healy Park in Omagh. This a huge victory for Donegal, because this will get them really confident going into their next game. And Donegal now face off against Tyrone, a Tyrone side that have been inconsistent themselves. So that game will be really, really interesting to watch. Even in the first half, Oran Doherty scored to make it 8 points to 5, the pick of the half, their 4th point in a row that was. Then Creelan McGonigal slotted over a beauty to make it 12-8. And that score from McGonigal was a real confident score. He had a look at the post. He was a long way out and he thought, I'm going to belt this over. So that showed me that Donegal were way more confident than they have been before. This was the Monaghan side that battered them in the league, beat them by, I think it was 120 to 15 points. And yet Donegal were so confident in this game. They opened up a 15 points to 10 lead, and when Monaghan pulled one back, Conor O'Donnell responded for Donegal to make it 16-11. Monaghan fought back. Jack McCarron with their 3rd in a row made it 17-14, but Donegal defended ferociously. And when Monaghan were pushing for a goal at the last minute to snatch the victory, Hugh McFadden got his hands on the ball and booted it out. Pretty much, rumours that ball is still travelling. And the referee blew the full-time whistle. Donegal got their victory, and you could see what it meant to them at the end of the game. They are back in the winning column. And now, facing off against Tyrone, Monaghan will go and face off, obviously, against Kildare, as I said. And topping the group then is Derry, who beat Clare at Pierce Park by 119 to 113. And the first thing I have to talk about with this game is, following this game, Colm Collins stepped down as Clare football manager after a decade in the job. And just, I want to pay respects to him. Just what an absolutely outstanding job he has done with this Clare side. You think about some of the results that they've had, even in recent memory. You think of the Cork win in the Munster Championship this year, when everybody wrote them off. They managed to churn out that performance. You think about the victory over Roscommon last year in the All-Ireland qualifiers to get into the All-Ireland quarter-final. You think about them getting to the All-Ireland quarter-final against Kerry all those years ago. They have had some outstanding results. He took a team from Division 4 to a Division 2 mainstay. Really got the best out of the likes of David Tuberty, Gary Brennan, Owen Cleary, Keelan Sexton, Jamie Malone. He got the best out of these guys. And yeah, he's going to be sorely missed because he brought that Clare team to a whole nother level. They were excellent in this game as well. So yeah, before I get into this game, I want to say all the best in retirement to Colm Collins. You've been an absolutely fantastic Clare manager. And I wish you all the best in the future, mate. But yeah, now in this game, Derry got 3-1 ahead, after 11 minutes. Ethan Doherty with the third. Clare stayed no more than 2 points behind until Emmett McMahon tucked away a goal to make it 1-3 to 5 points for the Bannock County. Shane McGuigan put Derry back in front, 8 points to 1-4, and then they led at half. In the second half, Derry got their goal. Benny Heron tucked it away for the Oakleaf County. Then Shane McGuigan kept raising white flags for Derry as they pushed on for a 6-point victory. 9 points in the end for Shane McGuigan. So he is absolutely on top form. So Derry topped the group, Donegal are second, Monaghan are third, and Clare are out. Now, the preliminary quarterfinals, just to run through them again, they have been announced. Kildare versus Monaghan, Roscommon versus Cork, Donegal versus Tyrone, and Galway versus Mayo. I mean, what one do you want to watch there? For me, I cannot wait to see Galway square off with Mayo once again. But yeah, that is the full final day group stage recap from the Play on GAA YouTube channel here. Now, thank you so much for giving me your time today, guys. Until the next one, take care.